Hey, 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 everyone. This is the premiere of Melanin Moves. We are so excited.
Yes.
This is your guide. We are offering you free access to the actions and attitudes for navigating blackness.
Free
We are your,
99.
yes, we are your dynamic duo. I am just Jay. This
I
is the
am T
queen.
Nicole.
This is the queen. I
I
need
did.
to know this is the queen.
She always does this. Always does this. I can't with you.
Respect.
I can't with you.
And we are two beautiful Black beings, very
Yeah.
clear that we are comfortable in our bold, beautiful Blackness.
Yes. All of
Mm,
that. All of
mm.
that. It's taken years to get comfortable in my Blackness.
Mm.
It's just taken years. And if I can help somebody else to navigate that journey, I can't
Yeah.
walk it for them, but I can walk it with them
Mm.
and kind of help with some of the pitfalls, some of the pitfalls, some of the holes that I have fallen into. I had to wait for somebody else to come dig me out because I dug myself down so deep. Um,
Hello, hello,
I mean, it's
hello.
one of the ones you just sit there and go, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for help because I'm not gonna be able to get out of this by myself. And if I can help somebody else to navigate that and to kind of circumvent that or
Yes.
not go as far down the rabbit hole as I found myself
Mm.
many years ago, then I'm happy to do it. And this is
Yeah.
how we do that.
Well, that's what Black people do. Can we be clear? We are
Yeah,
following the lineage and legacy that has been set forth before us by millions of
millions.
ancestors, elders,
Yeah,
teachers, gods, fools, family, all of the trauma and triumphs that they have navigated. We are now offered access to. And I could not be more grateful to sit in this space with T.
yeah. It's me and
Yeah,
Jay. We are the dynamic
yeah.
duo.
Yes,
We
we
also
are.
technically get into a lot of trouble,
We do.
but it's good trouble. It's
Always, as
good
John
trouble.
Lewis says, always good trouble.
It's always good
Always.
trouble.
But it's trouble
Yeah,
in the sense that people find themselves uncomfortable and
yeah,
unwilling to hold space with us in our authenticity.
yeah. That part. That part we had talked about bringing our full self to work kind of thing, that
Mm,
conversation that we had. And I know it's something we're going to go into as we go through these different episodes, but that's what kind of kicked all of this off. We were having a conversation, a group chat where there was half text, half voice messages, because at a certain point we got lazy and said, look, my thumbs hurt, I'm just going to say leave a voice note. And it was all over this one particular section over, do you bring your authentic self to work? Do you bring your whole self to work?
mhm.
And we went back and forth for like a couple days. And even my stance on it changed after I talked to someone else who is Black and navigating the corporate world and is
Mm.
at executive level at in these things, and talked to her and she's like, no, you don't want to bring your full self to work because that full selfness um, is a double-edged sword.
Mm.
Because if you can bring your full self to work, then other non-melanated people can bring their full selves to work, and sometimes their full selves to work are blatantly and glaringly racist and
Mm.
misogynistic. Versus, if I bring my full self to work, I don't think many people are gonna be able to take that because some days I get on my own nerves.
Mm. And that's where the show came from, because
That's where it
sometimes
came from.
we get on others' nerves and
And
sometimes we get on our own nerves.
sometimes I get on my own nerves and say, if I can't take 100% of me all the time, how do I expect somebody else to be able to navigate that? But what I will do and what I will bring is my authenticity. I'm the same forwards and backwards, day in and day out. You get different gradients of me. You get different variants of me. I'm the same person, but sometimes you get 20%. Sometimes I'll dial it up to 75. It kind of depends on who I'm talking to and what the circumstances are. But it's better than trying to close off and compartmentalize pieces of myself, trying to figure out what parts of me are palatable to other people.
Yeah. And also, like, we're not just talking out the side of our asses, although sometimes we may.
Sometimes we do.
We are really basing this on our training as certified behavioral health and wellness coaches.
Yes.
We are not professional therapists and
Nope.
psychiatrists, so please don't come sending us hate mail in the
No.
DM. Don't
No.
go saying Jay said as my therapist, because I
Yeah.
ain't.
And I didn't diagnose you.
Nope, nope, nope.
No.
But
No.
what
No.
we do bring is a varied background that stems into community,
Yeah.
HR, behavioral health and wellness and science,
Yeah.
Black women,
Yeah.
navigating corporate spaces, whole humans who
Whole
navigate
humans.
this world just like you do, trying to figure things out in real time with an
Hmm.
awareness and an accountability that allow me to show up as my whole self every motherfucking day. I
Yeah.
told T, we
Yeah.
went back and
Yeah.
forth about this because
We
I show up
did.
as Jay all day. And I'm clear that Jay all day in her whole self has boundaries. She's an artichoke.
Mm,
And some of y'all get the first layer of the leaves and some of y'all get the heart, but y'all get an artichoke every time,
right.
every time. And like T, I had to learn that, imposter syndrome didn't serve
Mm.
me. What is it when you talk tone, when your language changes?
Oh, code switching.
Yeah, no code switching. And there's a difference to me between code switching and being bilingual. If I'm in the hood, yes,
Right.
my register may drop a little bit.
A little
And
bit. A
but
little bit.
it's a different world to me in that
It
this
is
is this is my tribe, this is my community, or this is some place where the language is different.
different.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm also Jay all day in
All
that
day.
space. No matter who you fuck with and talk with me in regards to me, there'll be some common themes, whether it's in the office or out in the world. That you will know it's Jay they talking about.
Well, Tanisha doesn't rhyme with anything in
I
the
can't.
dictionary.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
Not
Tanisha,
nan,
glad to
nothing.
meet you. That
Yeah.
rhymes.
Okay. Okay. So there's a phrase, but there's no. So when somebody name drops me, we know who you're talking about. Tanisha said what?
Yeah.
They said that you called her stupid. No, what I said was every time I look at her, she has a vapid look on her face. Now, if she translated that to me saying that she was stupid, that sounds like her problem. But that is not what I said. What I said was,
you
so I
you can
get it.
always get good vocabulary here too, because we
I
love
will
vocabulary.
I will
We
drop a
love it.
vocabulary word. I love my favorite phrase, nefarious machinations, which is
I
much of
need y'all to
corporate.
look that up. I need y'all to
Coming
look
up.
that up.
Nefarious machinations, which is really most of corporate America, if we're just going to be honest about
I
it and
agree.
trying to navigate, especially when it comes to BIPOC people.
Yes.
And if we drill down even more, especially when it comes to Black bodies,
Yes.
there are nefarious machinations. Did you see in the news about Google about how much their Black employees are underpaid than their white colleagues doing the same job?
I did
And
not.
this is why they was look at it's out on LinkedIn. It came out in the news. It was this week, and people were saying this is why we have DEIB. This is why DEIB should not be separate from everything else. It needs to be ingrained into your policies and your procedures and into your departments. But again, that's what all of Melanin Moods is about. We're going to have those difficult conversations. We're going to have those conversations that you wish you could have. If you don't have a Black co-worker friend, you do now.
If you don't have an auntie, if you don't have a sis, if you don't have a boo-boo, if you don't have all those things, accountability coach.
An accountability buddy.
Space
you got
holder.
One now.
You know what I mean?
Holder.
Someone to hold space with you. This is what Melanin Moods and about. And like anybody can tune in.
Yeah.
But like any clear curriculum, this is the Black experience.
It's the Black experience.
If you want to become more familiar, if you want to participate in the conversation, sometimes it'll be just me and T. Other times we'll have guests on here. And not all of them will be of the melanin persuasion, because I think to have real conversations, you got to invite everybody to the table.
Yeah. Just don't co-opt my culture. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Don't co-opt my culture. That's all that I'm asking. Other than that, it's going to be real. And yeah, there'll be some MFs dropped and some fucks dropped and some shits dropped. So listen, this is not meant for the children. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this now. This is not meant for your children to help them navigate. What you need to do is take what we give you, filter that down, distill it down, and then put it in terms to help the children. I am not for the children. I'm also not the person that you put on speakerphone. So I'm just putting it out there. When we load this up to YouTube and it says, is this content made for children? No, it's not.
It ain't.
It
It
ain't.
ain't.
In no way, shape, form, or fashion is it meant for the cheering. Not the cheering, not the chillins, not the key,
Not the child.
not the
None of them.
child.
None of
Now,
them.
I may drop a child, but yeah, but it's not meant for it's not meant, not for the babies. Not for
and
I am not for the babies.
and again, I want y'all to know, as our whole selves, we mix a little bit of spirituality, a little bit of
Yeah.
social, a little bit of science, a little bit of petty, a little bit of pretty, a little bit of Betty, a little bit of Freddie. Like,
I will say it, petty is my favorite color. Petty is my favorite color. If you want to say something petty, come sit by me.
yes. Now
And I'll text it to you.
I love a concert between Petty LaBelle, Tom Petty, and Petty Pendergrass every now and again. They
Yeah.
come, they sing a few songs, and then they go. Because as
Yeah.
whole humans, I'm clear as a spiritual being having a human experience, those human experiences are real.
Yeah.
They're real. So I'm here to not judge. I'm here to understand, but I'm also to be clear. I'm here to be
Yeah.
clear.
And some people may get their feelings hurt. That's okay. You can only grow in the uncomfortable places. You cannot grow and where you're stagnant and there's nothing else going on. No, no. And you have to get comfortable with this. Lovia J has a TED talk. Love her. She did a TED talk, and her TED talk was getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I agree. I agree.
So if you
Weren't we
haven't looked that
talking
up, go
about
look that up.
weren't we talking about butterflies and the caterpillar turning into a butterfly and how the
Yes.
chrysalis journey is all about the uncomfortableness
It's
of
all
your
about the
the
uncomfortableness.
goo.
The goo, you take all of the nastiness that happens in the world. Because I have butterflies. I have a thing for butterflies. I have a thing about transformation because butterflies, people think, oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, but they don't start out that way. They start out these creeping little caterpillars, things that will eat up all your plants. Will take, but what they're doing, they're taking in the environment. They're taking in all this stuff. They're taking in the good, they're taking in the bad.
Right on.
And then they take that as they get stronger and stronger, and then they wrap themselves in it. They wrap themselves in the environment and all the nastiness and all the greatness that can happen. And then they gestate. And they literally liquefy and turn into these most magnificent creatures that have very short lifespans. But for the time that they're here, they're magnificent and they're wonderful. And people watch and they see a butterfly. You cannot tell me that somebody sees a butterfly and they go, oh, look, a butterfly. They go, oh, look, a butterfly. And they stop what they're doing to enjoy the magnanimous experience of seeing a butterfly because they are rare and there's no two that are alike. And so that's why I have butterflies. I have two here that you can see on my inner arms to constantly remind me that even as I'm navigating this life, I am taking it all in and I will become something better. I will become something that is beautiful. And even the little caterpillar serves a purpose.
Right on.
Because you can't get that without, you can't get to be a butterfly without having to go through the transformation process, which is painful.
That resonates with me so well. And I think one component of this like transition from caterpillar to butterfly that I really relate to right now in my life is that I'm in this chrysalis, and on any given day, I feel like I'm never going to get out. It's dark.
Yeah.
I'm pushing. It's tight. I'm tired. It feels repressive. I'm scared. And just when I think I'm never going to get out, the chrysalis cracks. And this is a perpetual sort of state and ecosystem. So, using the caterpillar to butterfly analogy, this happens to us over and over. That is the process of change. And so, when I say I feel like I'm never going to get out and then I burst free, that is me bursting free into this new state of me, but we continue to evolve and grow. And so, the transition of butterfly to then dying, becoming a part of the earth, and then another caterpillar comes from that. And then we
Yeah.
begin to process all over again. For me, that's sort of a beautiful metaphor or visualization
Yeah.
of the 5 stages of change.
Absolutely. And butterflies are these creatures, and people think, oh, they're beautiful. They eat on milkweed and flowers. They do. They absolutely do. They eat on the beautiful things of life. But butterflies also eat carrion, which are
Mm,
dead bodies. So they also take in the darkness and what we think of the dark parts of
mm,
life in order
shadow.
to sustain themselves. So
Yeah,
it's the good with the bad, or and I really try not to do good and bad,
right on.
so to speak.
Right.
um there's light and then there's dark, but both
Yep.
serve a purpose.
Yep.
It
Shadow
can't
and
be
light.
light. It can't be light all the time. It can't be
Nope.
sunshine all the time. Everything will be scorched, like my grass
Yeah.
in the backyard. I'm in Texas. My grass has given up the ghost. It is gone. It is crunchy.
It's
But
like
yeah,
cornflakes.
it is cornflakes in the backyard. You hear the dogs going as they
Oh
go through.
shit.
But what I also know is that I seed and fed my yard.
Mm,
So while it is dead on the surface,
right
my
on.
root system is strong
Yes.
and it is dormant right now. It says, okay, I don't have what I need. I can't get what I need. I'm going to go dormant until such time as I can flourish. And the environment is one where I can flourish. And that's what my yard's going to do. And that's what we do as human beings.
If we choose to, because like
Well, yeah,
any
there's
great
that.
choice that we get, you have to, in Mission Impossible terms, choose to accept it. Like
Yeah,
choice is our superpower, our God-like gift. We're spiritual here. We don't have
yeah.
a specific religion, so don't go,
Yes,
you
please.
call what you want,
What you want.
Allah, Jah, Jehovah, the Most High, the universe. Like, let's go. I'm Jay.
Yeah,
I'm Jenny. I'm Jennifer. I'm Mama. I'm Girl. I'm Bitch. Like all that on any given
yeah.
day, depending on who you speak with. But let's be clear, I'm here. And so, in that same vein, in this
Mhm.
journey, there's a real spiritual component for me
Yeah.
that speaks very much to what T was just talking about.
Yeah, so we navigate this in this same journey that you're doing as a human being, and again, it's about choices.
Hmm.
Sometimes the choices are foisted upon you. Sometimes they're choices that you take on. It's the same thing when you're navigating corporate life.
Hmm.
And this is navigating corporate life, whether you are, a person of color. I like to use the term people of global majority because that's
Right on.
what we
Right
are.
on.
And
Facts.
so you'll see that now. A lot of people use people, a person of color, people of color, and they use them interchangeably. That's fine and dandy. I'm not knocking that. What you're going to hear me use is people of the global majority.
Right on.
So as people of the global majority, when you are navigating corporate life, it is, people say it's a rat race, and it can be. It can be. You have to make choices. Are you going to play the game? Are you going to play the game to a certain extent? Are you deciding, no, I don't want to be involved in corporate politics. I want to come in, do my job, and go home? That is a choice. As long as you fully own that choice and know that with every choice, there are consequences,
Mm,
both positive and negative. If you want to excel and you want to, go up the corporate ladder, sometimes you have to play the game. But it's about how you play the game. So it's about choices. There's times where, that I will show up in a place and somebody will point out a microaggression. Oh my God, your hair is so pretty. Can I touch it? Whoa.
try
I'm
it.
not a pet. I'm not a petting zoo.
Try me.
They don't want to try me because that's when Nikki comes out. And my middle name is Nicole. I answer to Nicole. I answer to Nikki. We don't want to let Nikki out the box too often because she's gonna go off.
Hmm.
But I had to make a choice. Do I acquiesce and say, oh, yeah, sure, even though I really don't want to be touched because I don't want to cause conflict, but also walking away from conflict and trying to avoid conflict is also being dismissive of feelings. And at that point, I'd be dismissing my own feelings. Um, or do you make the choice to say, no, and here's why you should not ask a Black woman about touching her hair?
Right on.
Do I make the choice to educate? Or do I make the choice to be ratchet and say, and grab your hand and go, I am not a petting zoo. No, you cannot touch me. Choices.
Choices. I think that's a great way to end this last or this first episode. So, choices. We'll
Choices.
talk not only about choices, but many other things as it pertains to navigating both corporate and community. But one
Yes.
thing is clear, it will always be through the actions and attitudes of Black people,
Yeah.
focusing on the Black experience, because that's who we are.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
So
we'll be
stay
coming
tuned.
up. Yep, we'll be coming up soon. Until then, what we gonna do? Be bold,
Be bold. Be Black.
be you.
Be you.
Peace.